Reminder to the candidates to pin the court, the bench, and Ms. Rojas.
I'm muted. I'm here with everybody. I'm going to open up the Appellate Division First Department because we're now in session. My colleagues and I welcome you all to these virtual admission ceremonies. Ms. Guerrero, you may proceed.
Thank you. May it please the court, and good afternoon. I, Veronica Guerrero, counsel to this court's Committee on Character and Fitness, am honored this afternoon to present to the court 34 applicants for admission to the bar. Further, I am pleased to report that the committee has examined the records of each applicant appearing here today. Accordingly, and on behalf of the committee, I certify that each applicant appearing here this afternoon does possess the requisite character and fitness to merit admission to the bar of the state of New York, and I do hereby move for their admission.
Thank you. Before I rule on your motion, I want to take this opportunity to thank the members of the Committee on Character and Fitness for the excellent job that they do to assure that all of these candidates are well qualified for admission to the bar of the state of New York. The committee's work is important to the justices of this court, as well as to the bar in general. The members of the committee, they honor us by serving pro bono, and their work is greatly appreciated by us. And I want you to please relate this message to the members of the committee, if you would. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now let's turn to the motion, the business at hand before us. Justice Cardozo famously said, "Justice delayed is justice denied." So from our point of view, we are not going to be denying justice today, and we're going to grant your motion forthwith for you to be admitted to the bar of the state of New York. The oath will now be administered by our clerk of the court, Susanna Rojas.
Good afternoon, Justice Gish. Good afternoon, candidates. I will administer the oath in the form of a question. At the end, I will ask you to please unmute your microphones and respond by saying, "I do." At this point, I ask everyone to please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Attorney and Counselor at Law to the best of your ability? please unmute your mics and respond by saying I do.
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 Congratulations, attorneys. You may lower your right hand. Please mute your microphones. Thank you.
Congratulations. You are now officially lawyers in New York State. I'm going to invite my colleagues at this time to unmute themselves so we can give you a hearty round of applause. It is a tradition at our court to have one of our justices give you some words of welcome to the bar. And in this particular session, that great honor falls to my colleague, Justice Singh.
Thank you, Justice Gish. Good afternoon. On behalf of the justices of this esteemed court, we extend our hearty congratulations to all the newly admitted attorneys. Admission to the New York Bar is a notable accomplishment. Great effort and sacrifice was required for you to achieve this special moment. Your families, friends, and loved ones are proud of your accomplishments. But remember that in no small measure, your accomplishments were achieved because of the support by those around you, their emotional support, so important today, mentoring, and of course, financial contributions that paved your way. So now to the elephant in the room. Our lives, for good or bad, have changed. But we cannot ignore the dire consequences of the pandemic on our society and its institutions. This has, in my opinion, led to injustice. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Your role in this web of humanity, should you choose to accept it, is an important one. Are you willing to volunteer and use your skills that you've honed to help others in dire need of representation? Are you willing to make yet more sacrifices to make a difference in people's lives? Ours is the noblest of professions because it's underpinned on the notion that we're here to serve others. Its power gives you the ability to shape society, the economy, and politics. Use it wisely, use it fairly, to evolve the law to meet the challenges of today and to provide stability for tomorrow. I am truly sorry that we are unable to have all of you and your families in our beautiful courtroom. Ultimately, it's only a building. What makes the Appellate Division special are its people, the staff, the judges, and the lawyers who practice in it. I hope someday you will have the privilege to argue in the First Department, or at least visit and observe all its players performing their roles at the highest levels. I now turn to your obligations as attorneys. Please do not take them lightly. They are a keystone to our profession. You must, of course, zealously represent your clients, but consistent with the highest ethical obligations to be civil, courteous, and respectful of others, including your adversaries and their clients. As attorneys, you now hold a public office, and you must always adhere to the highest ethical standards, both in your professional and personal lives. But just as important, be passionate about your work. And I assure you, you will then be rewarded both professionally and personally. Again, on behalf of this court and our incredibly hardworking staff, I extend my congratulations to each one of you. It's my privilege to welcome you as attorneys and counselors at law to the New York State Bar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Justice Singh, for your sage advice to the newest attorneys in New York State. And thank you, colleagues. At this time, this session of the Appellate Division is now closed.
Thank you to the justices and to Ms. Rojas. They will log off, and the new attorneys will stay on with me.